Today for the Daily Cancellation, we have a show that was made for this segment. It is destined to be canceled. Canceled here, and hopefully in a more literal sense as well, though on that latter point, I don't have much hope. I think it's more likely that this show will run because that's the kind of culture we live in. But the show, which has just been added to HBO Max, is called Naked Attraction, and it's exactly what it sounds like. It's an uncensored, full-frontal nude dating show. Reading from The Hollywood Reporter, it says, quote, one of the UK's most infamous dating shows was quietly added to the Max streaming service last week, and it's already causing quite a stir. The streamer has imported 6 seasons of Naked Attraction, a game show that promises to start where a good date often ends, naked. In each episode, a single chooser critiques and eliminates 6 potential dates standing on a stage by scrutinizing their fully nude bodies, which are gradually revealed one part at a time. Faces are revealed last. When only 2 potential dates remain, the chooser strips out of their own clothes too, giving the remaining 2 contestants the opportunity to critique them. The final couple then go out on a date with their clothes on. The episodes on Max are uncensored, but have added a warning at the beginning of each episode. So revealing the face last is a nice touch. In case you didn't already get the message based on the whole premise of the show, that the point here is to totally objectify these people. It's to remove their humanity entirely. You're judging each individual body part before you even see their faces. They are, until that point, nothing more than faceless collections of limbs and organs. Of course, the participants are volunteering for this objectification, so they're not victims. The victim here is society, the culture, which suffers yet another blow. That's why, as we're told, some HBO Max customers are not very happy to find this garbage on their platform, but plenty of others, unfortunately, yet predictably, are thrilled. Quote, many are defending the show. Quote, despite the nudity, it isn't supposed to be titillating or dramatic or anything. The contestants are just normal people with normal flaws, and the format promotes an open, healthy discussion of sex with the participants, wrote a viewer on Reddit. Yes, because this is how you have a healthy conversation about sex. You have it naked on camera. That's the best way to have a every healthy conversation, that's how you have, that's the beginning point for any healthy conversation, is that it happens naked on camera. Anyway, a lot of Americans might actually benefit from seeing this, opined another. There's a surprising diversity of contestants, bodies, and tastes, talked about pretty matter-of-factly. And another, it's nice to see because the media and XXS has conditioned us to see bodies in a certain unrelatable way, usually too perfect and airbrushed. And on ABC's The View on Monday, Sunny Hostin said, I'm embarrassed to admit my husband, Emmanuel, and I got so obsessed with the show, we binged it yesterday. And I learned things I've never heard of in my life. It was one of the most fascinating things I've ever seen. Yes, fascinating is one way to describe it. Another word you could use is disgusting, depressing, dismal, dystopian, lots of D words. And just so you understand how dismally dystopian this is, here's the censored version of the trailer for the show. Watch.
In this dating show, we go back to basics.
Are you ready?
Bring it on.
And start where a good date often ends. Naked.
Don't know where to look.
Have you ever been faced with 6? No, but I feel like I should have done.
What do men and women really find physically attractive?
Wow. This is fantastic.
And could picking a partner based solely on their natural beauty
Could be a grower.
help us find the one?
I've never met anybody like this before and I don't know where to look.
Let's find out by dating in reverse.
Who are you going to pick for your date?
This is the hardest decision of my life. Oh my God.
Naked Attraction.
So we see that the naked people are literally kept in boxes, and the lid on the box opens slowly so each body part is revealed and judged separately. And those rejected then must suffer the humiliation of not only being rejected, but being rejected while naked in front of an audience of thousands. It's the kind of thing you'd expect to exist in the universe of some kind of dystopian sci-fi film. This is something that would have made sense in Idiocracy, except it would have been a little too dark for that movie. And as it turns out, all too real. So what can we learn from this show? Well, nothing at all, obviously, but a couple of things we already knew can come into sharper focus. And the first is that, of course, we live in a horrifically malformed and decayed culture. In fact, it's decayed to such an extent that it can barely be called a culture at all. If you leave the apple on the counter for too long, it'll start to rot. And if you let it rot for too long, eventually it'll not really be an apple anymore. It'll be nothing more than a pile of putrid mush. And that's the stage that we've reached with our culture. We have reached putrid mush stage. We are existing not in a culture, but in the remnants of what was once a culture. A show like this could not exist in a country that had any sort of vibrant, real culture. This can only grow out of a culture's decomposing remains. That's not to say that Naked Attraction is somehow significantly worse than what has come before it. I mean, there are millions of reality dating shows, and they're all degenerate and stupid. And in terms of the nudity, we live in a country where millions of people have been watching hardcore porn since they were young children. Full frontal nudity in a reality show. It's almost quaint by comparison, which is why it's funny that one of those comments on Reddit that said, Americans could really, this is something they need to see. Yeah, because Americans aren't seeing enough nudity. That's the big problem in our society right now, is that Americans haven't seen enough nude people. Before giving our dog rough greens, he was so sad and lazy. Now he actually enjoys his squeaky toys and playing fetch with his Frisbee. Our pup's days are filled with laughter, exercise, and endless fun. Naturopathic Dr. Dennis Black, the founder of Rough Greens, is focused on improving the health of every dog in America. Little did I know, before I got Rough Greens, dog food is dead food. Everybody knows that nutrition isn't brown, it's green. Well, you can let Rough Greens boost your dog's food back to life. Rough Greens is a supplement that contains all the necessary vitamins, minerals, probiotics, omega oils, digestive enzymes, and antioxidants that your dog needs. You don't have to go out and buy new dog food. You just sprinkle Rough Greens on their food every day. Dog owners everywhere are raving about Rough Greens. It supports healthy joints, improves bad breath, boosts energy levels, and so much more. We are what we eat, and that goes for dogs too. Naturopathic Dr. Dennis Black is so confident Rough Greens will improve your dog's health. He's offering my listeners a free Jumpstart trial bag so your dog can try it. A free Jumpstart trial bag can be at your door in just a few business days. Go to roughgreens.com/Matt or call 844-ROUGH-700. That's ruffgreens.com/Matt or call 844-ROUGH-700 today. So this is not another stage in our slide down the slippery slope. We are at the bottom of the slope, and this is just another thing getting tossed into the muck. And this all sounds really bleak and discouraging, I realize, but, well, it's a bleak and discouraging thing. I don't know what else to tell you. The good news, though, and yes, I am straining to come up with the good news, but here's something. That's that you can use these depraved, idiotic dating reality shows, especially one like Naked Attraction, as a very accurate roadmap towards healthy and productive dating. And I'm not suggesting that you actually watch any of these shows. And I'm certainly not suggesting that you model your dating life after anything on these shows. They are a roadmap, but they're an inverted roadmap. So you can look at what they do and just do the exact opposite of that. So consider the naked, faceless people in boxes being chosen based on a close inspection of their bare body parts, and you can choose your date in exactly the opposite kind of way. You can take into account the full person. And by that, I don't mean their full naked body. I mean, consider what sort of person this is, their value system, their character. Is the person honest, forthright, intelligent? Do we share the same fundamental belief system? Are our basic priorities and principles aligned? Of course, physical attraction is important, but it's only one ingredient in the recipe that makes for a successful relationship, which leads to a successful marriage. That's the other crucial factor that I'm pretty certain doesn't come up in the Naked People in Boxes show, is that when you're dating, you should see it as a courtship process leading towards marriage, and you should be looking for someone who views dating the same way. Again, do the opposite of what our decayed pseudo-culture suggests, which is easier said than done, perhaps, but also it's the only way. And that's why HBO Max and their dystopian naked dating show is today canceled. If you'd like to see what else I have to say, you can access my full show by going to dailywire.com or by going to the Matt Walsh Show Twitter page. Hope to see you there. Godspeed.